Massachusetts yields back. The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll yield myself the balance of our time.
The gentleman is recognized.
You know, isn't it interesting that thanks to House Republicans and their investigative efforts, there was a settlement yesterday where a member of the president's family has agreed to pay his taxes that he hasn't been paying. So that's a good thing. That delivers money to the Treasury. And oh yeah, about those background checks, well, it turns out a member of the president's family wasn't adhering to the background checks and the proper handling of a firearm. So maybe we all learned something in that exchange over the last 24 hours. I also want to correct a few things on the underlying bills. Association health plans, like all large employer plans, are required to cover preventative health care. This requirement includes covering women's preventive health services without cost sharing. In addition, all AHPs are required to cover pregnancy-related conditions and coverage of a minimum hospital stay after childbirth. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act requires the plans to cover pregnancy, childbirth, and related conditions in the same manner as they cover other medical conditions under the Association Health Plan. The Newborns and Mothers Health Protection Act of 1996, that was like 10 years before the ACA, but the Health Protection Act of 1996 requires large group association health plans to cover a hospital stay of at least 48 hours for childbirth and 96 hours for birth by cesarean delivery. These are all requirements placed on large group employer-sponsored health plans. Expanding AHPs does not change those requirements. What it changes is making that valuable insurance available to more employees. Look, the CBO score that the gentleman referenced also had within it the notation that 200,000 people would be covered if this bill is enacted, the Choice Act is enacted, because insurance would not be as expensive for employers to provide and would give them more possibilities. And here's probably the crux of that matter. 40,000 of these people have no insurance currently. So there will be 40,000 people moved from uninsurance to insurance by passage of the Choice Act. I would see that as a good thing, and I think people would be supportive of that. I do want to stress that it's important to support the rule and the underlying measures. I thank my colleagues for their diligence and hard work in bringing these important pieces of legislation to the floor today. The Republican majority has demonstrated yet again that we're putting forward a legislative agenda that works for all Americans and not just the well-connected few. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll yield back the balance of my time and move the previous question on the resolution.